everybody, it's AKK's Action Reviews. We are back again with another video, and guys, this will be my All-American Season 4, Episode 10, spoiler review. The name of this episode was actually called 6 in the Morning, which is really, funny, because literally this episode starts off with Spencer getting up at 6 in the morning, on his new, college schedule, which, I guess the summer break is over, and they're on that, they're in college now. They're on their college schedules, and this is Spencer trying to manage going to all these classes for football, managing how they get his snack breaks here and there, and also seeing how he's adapting to his new schedule. And that was just really cool to see him trying to we're now seeing him again in a new environment, in a new in a new chapter of his life, trying to adapt to this new schedule from his old schedule being back in high school, and him, how everything was he was able to manage. We're now seeing that this is the big leagues now. They're in college now. They're gonna have a lot more on their plate. To try to, fit football time, fit class time and all that. And right now this is preseason where he has to do a lot of classes for for footwork, a lot of classes for strategy, a lot of classes with training. He has to get up at 6 in the morning to train. And it looks like he's the first one on the field and the first one off the field, because he's trying to put in that work to be the best. But as we can see, when he meets up with Olivia, he's pretty much beat the shit. He's tired. He's, he barely can feel his legs because he's been putting in so much work. He meets Olivia on the side, when he has his snack breaks. He literally has, I guess, on his sheets of his schedule, snack break or whatever. And she's Olivia's oh, am I your snack break? And he's not like that or whatever. And she's I don't mind being your 2-time snack break a day or something like that. I was just funny because I was that's funny. But I just love how he's on there's a lot on his plate, because he's not used to being in this in this big environment of having a lot on his plate, because high school, we all think when we're in general, once we're in high school, that once we go off once high school's over, that college will be easier. Some people think that, when it's 10 times harder. We thought school was harder, college is 10 times harder. We thought high school was harder, our senior year was harder. College is 10 times worse as a freshman, trying to learn the campus, trying to get to classes on time. And Spencer has trouble getting the classes on time. And, he runs in tough with his coach, because his coach doesn't like him, from what I understand. And not going to lie, there was a scene in this episode where I literally thought, because there was this one dude that Spencer's that is one of his coaches, or at least one of his teachers for I guess I think the football strategy, his football strategy coach, I guess I guess wanted to send in Spencer, but then the one dude's he's we should send in Spencer, because Spencer learns out that there is I guess it's what do you call it? There's a word for it. It's I wrote it down because I wrote down a whole bunch of notes, because there was just a lot in this episode that I really, really loved. I think it's a scrimmage. Yeah, it's a scrimmage underneath the lights. It's game time. It's show time. And he said this is a chance for you to show the coach that you're not a showboat, because when there's a scene where Spencer is in practice, Jordan is up, because there's a ton of quarterbacks. Mind you, that they're still kind of in preseason. They're still trying to see who's going to be the quarterback, who's going to be who's going to be actually on the team. So, Jordan's up. Jordan passes to Spencer. Spencer catches one-handed, and the coach flips out at Spencer, saying, "There's no showboating here. We're not about that. We play games every Saturday, and we win games every Saturday." And I was okay, I guess. But I was at the same time, I'm this coach is kind of being over the top for no reason. If you catch it, you catch it. I can't imagine a lot of coaches are like that. But I understand. But I kind of tried to be okay, maybe the coach just wants him to, use your 2 hands, you know what I mean? We can't afford to, miss catches, blah, 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 blah. I just felt he was kind of being over the top about it. I kind of let it slide. I was okay, he probably just, again, wants him to, use 2 hands and do the right form and make sure he doesn't mess up on plays. I was okay, fine. But then it comes to the chance where that one teacher says to the coach, oh, let's put in Spencer James. He's which one is that? And I was low-key, that sounds that. I was that sounds racist. I was I don't want to say that that was the coach's intent, but I was what do you mean, which one is he? I was that kind of sounds, and it's is that what he meant by that? And then by the end of the episode, when Spencer's okay, when he kind of I guess when he goes in, he messes up because, again, as Billy put it right when, Spencer was talking to Billy saying, I just don't know what to do because, my coach seems like he doesn't like me. And, I messed up on my route, you know what I mean? Like, the one dude was able to know what route I was doing. He shut me out. He shut out my route, and he intercepted the ball. He said that, Spencer, now you're versing now everybody that's Spencer James. You're versing the best of the best that got into this school. So, of course, if you want to be the best, you got to train harder. The schedule is made for you to be put through the ringer, but at the end of the day, it will make you a great player. So you just, you have to, you got to push through it. You got to make it your own or whatever. And Spencer ends up doing that, and he ends up waking up at 4 a.m. and to be the best, and he ends up running into the coach again saying, I'm sorry, coach, for, the one-hand catch at practice and me getting shut out at, at the scrimmage game. I promise I'll do better, meaning because he's changing everything to make this work. He's getting up at 4 a.m., not getting up at 6 a.m. He's really putting in the work, trying to be the best he can be. He's working even harder than what he was before, even though he was even putting in an amount's work more than other players would. He's getting up even earlier to be the best. Like Billy said that, you can't settle for, for what you think is the best. You always have to push harder and you know what I mean? Like, there is no settling. You have to keep pushing yourself, which I commend that because, it's the grind. You always have to, commit to the grind and even push past the grind if you really want to be the best. So I was like, okay, cool. And he even says all this stuff. Sorry, coach. Sorry. He says sorry to the coach for the one-hand catch. He says sorry to the coach for him getting shut out in the scrimmage game. And then the dude's like, oh, are you number 11? Oh, you should get back to work. I just don't like how he doesn't know Spencer's name. And I was like, I don't know if this is the writers trying to tell us that there's something like this dude's like racist. I don't know. I just want to know if any of you guys picked up on that. But I kept trying to say to myself, okay, I'm going to give this dude the benefit of the doubt. Is he just like extra hard on Spencer because he knows how good Spencer is and he wants Spencer to be the best? That's why he's pushing him so hard. Is that the case? I just don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of left in the air where we don't know what's the intent of this coach. We'll find out soon, hopefully in the next couple of episodes. But let me know if you guys are feeling that drift of, like, he kind of sounded racist. I even asked my sister, I'm like, did that sound racist to you? And she's like, yes, it kind of did. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I don't know. I don't want to say he was or wasn't. I don't know. Again, they're kind of leaving it in the interpretation in the air. At least I want to know if that was, like, what I just kind of felt like he was being. Let me know if you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say. It kind of felt like he was being racist, but again, at the end of the day, I do not know enough yet. But let me know if you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from. But going off of that, with Olivia and what she's going through, like, on the moment back when they were on the, I guess not when they were on, I guess, yeah, when they were on the couch, I guess, she's told Spencer that she is no longer, just an intern for the LA Tribune. She actually is now an employee, and she has a cubicle, and she has a desk now, and she's actually getting paid now. But they put her in as like a paper girl, like she makes a copy girl. She makes copy. She does everything. She prints. She does a whole bunch of other things like that. They're not letting her write for the LA Tribune yet. So, she has, a conversation with the one, I guess, the one person that's in charge. And she even said that, everybody starts here. You know what I mean? You always have to start at the bottom to work your way up. And this really really show if you actually want this, if you want to be at the top or like be a manager, or if you want to be, be right in the paper, you really have to stick this out because, everybody is, the people that, that wanted to succeeded, and the other people that felt like that really didn't want it that much ended up quitting. So this is pretty much like a test to see if she'll stick it out through like the little things of like making copies and printing out papers to actually get to the big thing that she really wants, to be a writer and to even become a manager at some point. So I really do love that story and like how she really has to work their way to the top. Everybody has to work their way up, and that goes to show back again with Spencer and the argument that Jordan had with Spencer, saying that Spencer's going off saying this is really difficult for me. You know what I mean? Like, coach is making it difficult. Calling me out for the one-handed catch. And you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, feel like I'm not getting a spot, even though I should get a spot for how good I am. And then Jordan's like, oh, well, we're all starting from the beginning. You know what I mean? Stop making it sound like, you just deserve a spot, where you're not better than everybody. You know what I mean? You have to earn your spot again. You know what I mean? You're not just going to get it just from how good you were back in high school. High school, it doesn't matter anymore. It's a clean slate. And I was like, I was like, I said it's funny that Jordan is saying this because Jordan's been an ass throughout this entire summer, sitting on his ass, drinking Hippo sports drinks or energy drinks or whatever, wanting to be lazy, not wanting it to put in the work until Spencer got him up off of his ass to actually do stuff, to be the best, to even be as good as he is in practice. And what really annoyed me, also with Jordan in this episode, is that Jordan had the nerve to come to say to Olivia when he was at, when Jordan was back at his house, said to Olivia, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, I'm happy that Simone really isn't in town anymore because I wouldn't be able to fit her into my snack breaks. Meaning because, Olivia was talking to Jordan saying, Spencer's really having a difficult time with the scheduling and everything. And he is having trouble with, the coach and stuff. And I really feel bad, that he's having trouble. How are you able to do it? And he's like, because I don't have Simone, you know what I mean, that I have to fit in snack breaks. I can actually focus on what I'm doing. And I love my snack breaks. And that kind of like, Jordan got into her head, making it sound like it was her fault that, Spencer had trouble, with it, getting to class on time and him having trouble, at practice because of Olivia. And I was like, dude, you have no right to be saying that to your sister. I kind of got really annoyed about that because I was like, you're going to get in her head and she's going to think that it's her fault and her and Spencer's relationship is going to get they're going to break up. I was like, dude, you're an idiot. That's your sister. Why are you making it sound like it's her fault? And I said, it's also funny because, you're focused on football and Simone is focused on tennis, but yet you're going to be losing your girl to Damon, my dude. I was like, that's kind of funny that you're kind of like, oh, like you're clearly not making an effort, Jordan. Clearly, like they're making an effort. You know what I mean? It's like they're making it work, but you and Simone aren't really making it work. You see what I'm kind of saying? Because we all know what's going to end up happening. Damon's going to be dating Simone, and I don't know what's going to happen with Jordan. And this clearly shows that Jordan's really not making an effort. He's saying, oh, yeah, you guys are doing it wrong. It's your fault. You know what I mean? We're doing it right. Me and, Simone's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. But yeah, but you're not really having enough time to really, talk to one another or see one another. See what I'm saying? While, Damon's trying to, get with Simone. I was like, dude, Jordan, you have no right to talk. You have no right to give any dating advice, my dude. I just really annoyed me in Jordan in this episode. He had the nerve to jump down Spencer's throat, even now saying, oh, we're all starting from scratch. Oh, you're not the best or whatever. Stop acting like you're better than everybody. Blah, 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 blah. Stop acting like you deserve a spot. It's a new clean slate. But again, Jordan, you were super lazy the entire summer. And if it wasn't for Spencer, I don't think you'd be getting this good attention from the coach and everything and being as, you know what I mean, and being in shape as you were for the, see what I'm saying? It just really frustrated me. Especially because that was not Spencer's intent. It's making it sound like, oh, I deserve a spot, blah, 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 blah. It's that, the coach is really, really zooming in on him, really, getting, really, ragging on him, really putting him out on the spot, you know what I mean? Pretty much making him sound like he's a showboat and he's not a team player. And you know what I mean? It's kind of like, how can't Jordan not see that? You know what I mean? I just find Jordan's a really crappy friend when it comes to Spencer a lot of the time, and it really annoys me. Especially lately with Jordan's character, I feel like he's growing at some points, but then he they regress his writing and he ends up being again him drinking the sports drinks, him not wanting to train. I feel like he's grown past that. But it's and him being in a serious relationship and then him flirting with girls in the last episode, it really annoys me. His writing fluctuates on how he acts, how much he grows and how much he regresses as a character, and that really frustrates me. I want to know if you guys see that too. But going also with what's going on with Patience and Coop, that how Patience is really getting annoyed that Coop is always at her, always on her hip. Where Patience is trying to, she was going to be opening for Layla's, I guess, new artist or whatever, while Patience wanted Layla to get Coop to train, I guess, the new artist, while Patience could open up for one of the new artists or whatever. But I guess Coop's no, I'm going to be your manager. Oh, I guess was in charge of getting what Patience needed, I guess, food wise. She wanted but it was all things that Patience liked. But yeah, for some unknown reason, Patience was getting angry. And I was like, I understand where Patience is coming from because Coop literally has nothing to do right now. She is always at, Patience's hip. They're kind of they're always with each other, which is, again, cute because they're with each other. And I felt like at the surface, everything seemed fine until, I guess, they've been living there, I guess, living together for a while at, at the Baker place. And I guess, Patience has had it. She's like, I want Coop to do her own thing. I want to do my own thing with the music. I don't want Coop to try to be my manager, which Coop tries to be her manager. And Coop tries to make Patience not open for another artist, I guess another new artist, making it sound like, look, you're not opening up for a new artist, unless you're going to be opening up for Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like, you're better than that. You're way beyond opening up for just some new artist. You know what I mean? Like, you should be opening up for big artists, if anything. Which I kind of understood where Coop was coming from, because Patience is like she's way beyond doing that. I do understand that, but that's what Patience wants to do. At the end of the day, Coop needs to respect Patience's, her work. You know what I mean? And take out the whole, I understand, that even though, like, take out the whole, like, you're my girlfriend. Oh, you're gonna, you're automatically gonna be my manager, and you automatically control what I'm doing. You know what I mean? We got to separate the work and the relationship, meaning that I'm doing work, you can't intervene. I understand where Patience is coming from, but I also understand where Coop is coming from, meaning that Patience is beyond that. I do believe that. But also, it's like also the fact of, like, Coop needs to find other things to do. But I understand where Coop is coming from. I mean, she just got shot. Her personality did change from her getting shot. Also, her losing, Amina, like, that still hurts her that she lost Amina, and Amina never wants to talk to Coop anymore. And we haven't really seen her talking to Preach very often. I bet you, because Preach is probably angry at Coop for saying all that, because I bet you Preach would rather have Amina being mad at him than being mad at Coop. So I don't know. I mean, I just feel like Coop is very alone, and she feels like she just depends on, on Patience. And I feel like Patience does need to understand that Coop really does need her. But I understand also it's like, she doesn't want to put her life on hold, always being there for Coop when Coop needs to get out again, needs to make music again, needs to, do what she loves again. Coop needs to break out of that shell and actually needs to start making music again, because she's very talented. And I feel like, I feel like, since Patience says to Coop that she wants space, not breaking up, but just some space, that will get Coop on the right track to getting back to music. At least that's what I hope. So that's going to be interesting, seeing how they can really get back to being, back to, like, missing each other, and back to getting into that lovey-dovey part of their relationship. Because again, it's like, she's always on her that it's like she can never miss Coop. She can never, like, ask Coop, oh, how was your day? Because she's always with her. Coop is always with Patience. So I understand where Patience is coming from. There's nothing, I can't even ask her how her day is, because she's always with me. And I can't even, miss her, because she's always with me. You know what I mean? So I understand where Patience is coming from. I can understand from both sides, but I just hope that Coop gets back into music, because she's so good with music. And I just really miss her back doing her music. Going off with Grace and, I always forget, Denise. I think that's her name. Let me know if that is her name. But Denise and Grace are trying to look for a new interim principal, since, Principal Carter, aka D'Angelo Carter, is, pretty much, he gave up his job for Spencer. So they're pretty much looking for a new interim principal. And of course, Grace thought right away to have Billy as the principal in the meantime, until they find an actual, permanent principal for the school year. And, it was funny, because Grace tricked Billy into becoming, stepping up to become the interim principal by saying, Stubbs, I guess there's this woodshop teacher that cut off his, the tip of his thumb, and they call him Stubbs. And she's like, oh, we're actually going to be going with Stubbs or whatever. And he's like, what? You're going with Stubbs? I don't want him as my boss. And he's like, okay, I'm going to step up. She tricked him to step up, because she knew that would get him to step up, because Grace knows Billy that much. I just thought that was hilarious. And it's going to be interesting to see if Billy wants to actually become the permanent principal. I really thought when she was looking for a principal, Grace, I was like, Grace, you should be the principal. But Grace is already the head of I think of the board or something. I think she is, or the head of there's a word for it. The head of the committee. There we go. She's the head of the committee, I think, of already South Crenshaw, so that's why she can't be the principal. I thought she would have been a great principal, though. But I also think Billy will be a great principal as well, at least an interim principal. But I think he'll learn to love being principal, and maybe try to balance being a football coach and being principal. Also, him struggling to find 7 more players before the season starts up is very concerning to me. I wonder, because he even said, if we don't find 7 more players, we can't do football this year. We can't even enter to even be a team to play football this year. So that's gonna be interesting to see if we'll find any new talents in the newer freshmen and sophomores of the new year. I wonder if we'll see any of that, because that would be cool on the new end to see the new generation of South Crenshaw members join the team and have, and like kind of have like if they wanted to do like once All American ends, maybe do a reboot, or not a reboot, but like do like a spin-off of like the new generation of South Crenshaw and Beverly, you know what I mean? Like that would be really cool, and have the old members come back maybe in the future. I think that'd be really sick to see that go down. But I'm interested to see how that all goes going forward. And I think like we didn't see a lot of Laura in this episode. I don't know where she is. We know Grandpa Willie is out in Florida with his friend. And pretty much like that was pretty much it of the episode. I think. Oh, also Layla and Clay. Layla clearly wants to just have a summer fling with Clay. She doesn't want it to be a relationship, even though Clay really likes Layla. Him bringing her iced coffee and saying I'll see you later. See you later. Oh, Jesus, I can't even talk tonight. See you later, babe. Like, he clearly likes Layla, but Layla gave the same advice to, Olivia, saying that, it's been easier that, since, I'm not in a relationship because I get to focus up on my work. And, I get to have a summer fling here and there, but I'm focusing up on my work. I don't have time for a relationship. Like, she's kind of agreed with Jordan. And I was like, really, Layla? Layla, you're annoying me, because it's like, you clearly want to be with Clay. You're afraid to be in a relationship with Clay. You're afraid to, I think, be in a relationship again, especially after what happened in your past relationship. Maybe she's afraid of that, and also because she's been, and she's like really dove deep into her work ever since what happened between her last breakup. So I feel like, she just doesn't want to go through any like difficulties, and she just wants to focus in on her work, which again is fine, but I don't think she should drag along Clay, because Clay clearly likes her, and if she's only in it for a fling, that's not what Clay is about. He really wants to be in a relationship with her. So I hope we kind of like Clay gets into like, like confronts her about that, saying, I don't want this to just be a summer fling, even though he kind of said that. Like, I hope he really says, I don't want this to be a summer fling. I actually like you. It's either, we try to make this work and we become boyfriend and girlfriend, or, I just can't do this. Like, because I don't feel like that's what Clay is about. And I feel like Clay and her match so well. I feel like they're literally would be a great couple. And he seems like such a nice dude that I feel like she would really be losing a good dude if she, doesn't come to her senses saying, I really do like him. I don't want this to be a summer fling. I just hope she gets to that point soon. Also going on with, Asher, pretty much, him, he's really killing it right now with the sports bookie deal. Him making these bets and stuff, and him making all these monies. So, he's pretty much, killing it right now, making all this money, doing this bookie thing. But, he goes to, I guess, he's talking to JJ, and JJ's making, like, I guess this, JJ's pretty much not going to any of his classes, and pretty much like, oh, I got in or whatever, you're following your classes and goofing off, making moonshine and just goofing off, staying in the beach house and not trying to train at all. Like, he's just goofing off before the season. He's not really trying to do anything to get ready for the season. And, he even says to, JJ's like, oh, you're really killing it, because, Asher gives JJ some of the money for, the renting of the beach house. And he's like, dude, you're really making a killing with this bookie thing, but are you afraid they're going to break your kneecaps? And he's like, dude, JJ, you're no, like, this isn't like a mob movie or whatever. I was like, dude, he needs to chill out, JJ. This is not like, he watches way too many mobster movies, like, but that's what actually, like, is the joke throughout the thing. But there's a moment where, like, Jamie comes in, and I was wondering where Jamie went, but apparently throughout that entire summer, I guess there was a moment where, like, Asher, like, Jamie's like, oh, can I talk to you? And Asher's like, I'm actually busy right now, and she's like, I heard you quit, Jacob's, I heard you quit the restaurant. And he's like, yeah, I found a better job that pays well, and you weren't there or whatever. And she's like, oh, I kind of, like, can we talk? Because she was about to give the explanation on why she didn't call Asher for, like, those 2 months. I guess he's been trying to call her. But we end up finding out that she actually has, I forget what the name of the disease is. I'm trying to figure it out right now. Where is it? Come on. Where is it? I had it a second ago. And I want to see if I can find it, Jamie. No, that's not it. Jacob. Where's the thing? I should find something. She has lupus disease. And, that's Asher ends up finding out from Jacob when Asher gives Jacob the money for his 2 months of his college funds and stuff. I guess he pays for the rest of the 2 months of the semester. he even says Jacob says, well, it's in cash or whatever, and he's like, yeah, this job is really doing well for me, and he pretty much he asked like what's going on here. He's like, oh, we're doing a fundraiser for lupus disease, and it was actually Jamie's idea, and he's like, he's like, well, does Jamie have lupus disease? And he's like, I didn't want to I didn't want to say anything. I shouldn't have said anything. She should have said it to you. She didn't want to tell anybody because, she doesn't want, people to feel bad for her or like tiptoe around her, which I do understand, but she was about to tell Asher because she really cares about Asher, but Asher kind of just, shut her out before he even like let her talk about why she didn't return his phone call, which I feel like he should have like just heard her out, but he didn't want to. But I can understand, I guess, at the same time as, someone doesn't, someone you think that likes you doesn't call you for 2 months. I mean, you can't help to not be angry. But I'm really happy they smoothed those things over, and we weren't going to wait like a couple of episodes for him to forgive her, especially after he found out that, she has lupus disease, and, what I mean, she was going to tell him, but, she kind of like, he kind of ignored her when she was about to tell him why she didn't call for those 2 months, because she was going through, her losing mobility and stuff like that. It seems like, she just, what I mean? Like she's been going through some things. I'm just happy he understood, and, things are working well for them. Also, him pretty much, he's going to give up the bookie thing and actually go work back at the restaurant, because he wants to, be closer to Jamie, which, I really do appreciate, because I think him and Jamie are a great couple as well. They have a lot in common. I just think that, they just would be a cute couple. I'm just happy that, Asher's not going to go down that, gambling route, because I love how Asher's like, I actually was afraid they were going to, break my kneecaps. And she's like, I knew you were afraid of that too. I thought that was hilarious. Because it was the whole, you're gambling. Oh, you're afraid someone's going to break your kneecaps if you get something wrong. I just thought that was funny, the whole mobster thing. But other than that, I just don't know where things are going to go, because it looks like in the next episode, especially with Spencer, he's still having trouble with that coach, and he feels like, he's losing, any chance of him, really doing great on the team. He's just really having a lot of trouble. Even if him even modifying his schedule, he would have thought that would have been enough, but it looks like it's still not enough. And I wonder where this is going to head, because again, I feel like this coach is being extra hard on him. And again, there's two things. He knows Spencer, he knows how much of a reputation Spencer has of being a really good player. And maybe he's just being really hard on Spencer because he expects a lot from Spencer. That's one. The other thing is that from the two things of this episode of, you're number 11, right? Oh, who's Spencer? Which one's Spencer James? God, it seems very racy. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like this coach. I don't like how he's being really hard on Spencer for like no reason. And again, I have two theories of him, just, two theories I just said, so I don't know. I want to know what your thoughts are about this coach, because I just don't like this dude at all. He pissed me off throughout the entire episode. I was like, you suck, dude. I'm going to be honest, if you would go to any preseason practice, all you do see is athletes catching footballs with one hand all the time. And I've never seen a coach be angry about that. This coach literally just, I don't know, because also it seems like that teacher kind of knows what's up too, about like, because even Spencer's like, it sounds like the coach didn't want me here, doesn't want me here, and didn't pick me to be here. And he's like, okay, he's like, Spencer, chill out or whatever, don't cause attention to this, you'll have your chance to shine in a minute. Like, I feel like he's trying to keep Spencer like from causing too much of a scene, because he knows like this coach, like maybe he knows that the coach maybe is what I think he might be. Or, I don't know. It seems like that teacher knows a lot more than he's letting on to Spencer. I feel like the coach knows a lot. I feel like this teacher knows a lot about this coach that he's just not telling Spencer. I don't know what this teacher's name was. I don't know what his, role is. He might be the assistant coach. I don't know. But he was talking about, strategizing, and that's what he was talking about when Spencer came in late. At least that's what it looked like from the board. But I'm just excited to see how Spencer can make this comeback, because he really thought him waking up. I was like, because even when he's like, he told Olivia, he's like, because Olivia, talks to Spencer, like, you should be spending your snack breaks with your friends, and, you know what I mean? And, maybe is it really hard because, you're spending your snack breaks with me? Is that why you're having such a hard time? And he's like, no, because again, Jordan and Layla got into her head, And he's like, I guess, Billy's right. You know what I mean? Like, I have to work even harder. Like, I just have to I have to make a new plan. Meaning, I'm done following my old plan. It's not working. If I want to be the best, I got to make a new plan. I just got to, I'm never going to be satisfied. I need to make a new plan. And when it said 4 a.m., I was like, bro, that is fucking dedication. You're waking up 4 a.m., you're really early to the gym, my dude. You're going harder than any player on that team, but for some unknown reason, he's still getting shit. And I don't know what that reason is. Maybe because he heard about Spencer, maybe doing his, standing up for people. I don't know what this coach's deal is, but he's pissing me off. But let me know how you guys feel about the coach. And let me know how you guys feel about the episode, because I'm going to be honest, this was the best episode of All-American. I want to say maybe of the season. I think so. This might be the best episode so far, or maybe if not the best episode since we've been back from break. Because this episode has been freaking phenomenal. I loved this episode because we were back in the element of football and back in the element of Spencer trying to get the schedule contained and try to learn trying to learn the ropes of this new environment that he's in, of being in college and trying to get to class on time and trying to pretty much earn a spot on the team and really show that he's meant to be here. And and trying to fit in time with Olivia and trying to just make life work, so he has a chance to even get into the NFL after college. So I just love what we're doing with our characters right now. But Jordan's a little too calm, especially after him slacking in the beginning, like of summertime, when he knew that. When he kept saying to Spencer, it was like, oh, it's fine. This is party time right now. When it's like a little bit leading up to for us to start for college, then we'll start training. When I'm gonna be honest, I said that like him and Spencer have always been, Spencer's always been the work hard type of person, and Jordan's always been the slacker. So, and I feel like we've really grown. I feel like, at least I thought, Jordan's grown from that, but clearly, he keeps like progressing and digressing at the same time of writing for his character. And it just is very frustrating. Jordan really pissed me off in this episode. He made it sound like he had everything under control, when again, you're going to be losing your girlfriend soon to Damon. I feel like that we all know where that's going to be heading in All-American Homecoming, is that Damon and Simone are going to definitely get together. I feel like that's definitely going to happen. A part of me feels like they're kind of trying to get us off the trail a little bit kind of in All-American Homecoming right now, but I feel like sooner or later, that's exactly what's going to happen, is that, Damon and Simone are going to be dating, and I don't know who Jordan's going to be dating, because again, Jordan's acting like it's all too cool and stuff, but yeah, we just saw him flirting with the girls a while ago, and we just saw him drinking and partying, and out of nowhere, he's like this all put together dude now, and he's like, oh, you know what I mean, I got everything under control, and you know what I mean, I've always been, training leading up to college and stuff when you weren't, and we saw you weren't. I just really frustrated me. But hopefully, I don't know, Jordan's not so much of a jerk in the next couple of episodes. I hope not, because I try to defend the dude, but he makes it so hard. Let me know, guys. Let me know how you guys feel about, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say about Jordan's writing. It's like he starts to grow up, and then he starts to ungrow up. But guys, I just loved this episode. This is where All-American thrives, when we get into like really the football element. I feel like we've kind of shied away from that, and it really annoys me, because that's what makes All-American so good, is the football. I mean, that's what we are here for, is the football, and us learning, these life lessons through these football problems that Spencer has in his life. And I want to get back to that, and I feel like we're finally getting back to it. But guys, that was the video. Again, my spoiler review for All-American Season 4, Episode 10, called, I think it's called, 6 a.m.? Was it called 6 a.m.? Yeah, it was called 6 a.m. Was it called? I don't even know. Yeah, 6 in the morning. But guys, I cannot wait to come back next Monday to review the next episode, because the next episode looks great, too. And also, guys, for a quick update for people that didn't watch my, the reason that, we moved All-American Homecoming reviews to Wednesday, I just want to say that, again, we moved it to Wednesday because it's easier with my schedule, and also it's also better for the algorithm, because if I post every day, every week, it should push all of my algorithm stuff all the way out, so more people come join the channel, because we've kind of hit a plateau where, like, we don't have as many people coming to join the family as I would want to. So hopefully me changing this up will, get more people to come join the fam. Also, again, if you guys have watched my videos before, I would love it again if you guys subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video, and come join the fam here on this channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And guys, we are almost at 500 subscribers. We're literally super, super close to hitting 500. And I've said yet again that it helps the algorithm out, the more we grow. And also, like, I'm really trying to get to 500 because if I hit 500 subscribers, the community tab opens up for me, and I actually get to, like, talk to you guys literally on a daily basis without having to make, like, a video to, like, ask you guys a question. I could just, like, literally put up a text in the community tab, and I can get your guys, like, your feedback on whatever I'm trying to ask and stuff. So, and also, I also get your feedback on what you guys want to see here on the channel. So it opens up a better communication. So that way, we can really, maybe we can plan some things out. Maybe some I don't know, some like put together some like plans to start doing Instagram lives maybe every Friday. And talk about whatever topic. Like, this will just open up a big opportunity for us to really communicate and really, like, get some, like, some cool group activities together. So I really want to, like, try to get that going soon. So that's why I'm saying, if you've come across my videos before, but just yet again, really appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel and put in those notifications and like this video, because it all helps out yet again with the algorithm and helps build the channel. But guys, that was a video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.